Hello YouTube. Today we are building another retro system. In this episode, we will be using a GP slot based motherboard. And this one is quite old, frankly. Not that quite old, but quite old. Like in the 2000, back in 2003 and 4. At the end of 2002, 3, 4. Okay. This one is Pentium 4 at its earlier age. Like in the beginning of Pentium 4, these were mostly used. It has a 845 motherboard, D845, like the beginning of Pentium 4. There was in the Pentium 3, it was a D815 from Intel, and this one is from Intel, D845. Okay, D845, it's a quite basic motherboard regarding Pentium 4. I'm telling you, this is it at the earlier age. It has a socket 478, I think 478 socket. It has a beefy cooler and uses a Pentium 4. I'm not sure about the hyperthreading, because in the beginning it was not hyperthreads. Pentium 4 was not hyperthreads. Okay, it has a HDP slot of 8x, PCI slot, 3 PCI slots, and I think this one is secondary ID, primary ID, and floppy drive, the power connectors. And surprisingly, this uses SDRAM, like not DDR, not DDR2, but SDRAM. SDRAM were mostly used by Pentium 3. Like it has two cuts, like one here, and one here. Two cuts, like two slots, two cuts in its making. And it won these. I'm using 133 megahertz of SDRAM, or 133 megahertz, and this board is quite old, to be tell the truth. The capacitors are in okay condition. These one are good, but these power delivery capacitors are beginning to show its age. And I don't think there is some rust here. Unfortunately, there is some rust here. Some rust here. I can't remove it. I tried, but I can't. Coming to the I/O, to keyboard and mouse, USB 2.0, parallel port, serial port, LAN, two USBs again, and the sound outputs. And I think it's power connector, EPS power connector, like CPU power connector, is in a very odd position. I think this one works. I tried it a year back. It works. I don't know about its condition now. So moving on towards our graphics card. This is graphics card from ATI back in the day when it was not bought by AMD. I think this one is ATI Radeon 9600SE 128 MB. 128 MB. I think this one is a GP 8x or 4x. I'm not sure. It has one VGA out, one DVI out, and this one is, I forgot about its name, but this one was used for the TVs, I think, or monitors, some specific monitors, I guess. So this is the whole system. Okay, the other thing to mention that I will be not using Crysis today, unfortunately. No Crysis, because I have seen that the crisis is very bad on old systems like this one of Pentium 3s. So from now on, when there is an AGP slot, when there is a motherboard with AGP slot, I will be using Crisis. I will not be using Crisis. I will be using Far Cry as a benchmark. I have categorized them like if the motherboard has PCI Express slot or good motherboard like modern motherboard, we will be using Crisis. But if it is very old like before Crisis, we will be using Far Cry. So today we will be using Far Cry. I will again mention it later in the video. So the usual stuff is that we will be using 80 GB hard drive, Windows XP, and DVD-ROM, and rest of the stuff. I will assembly the system, try to boot Windows like Windows XP. If it doesn't work, we will install Windows XP. Sorry about my daughter is crying, something like that. And let's go for the assembly process. I have made two small changes, or you can say that small or big, whatever. I didn't know that this motherboard doesn't support SATA. It doesn't have any SATA ports on it. Not a single SATA port. It's very old. There was no SATA ports back there. Most of the systems, most of the companies use SATA ports like parallel ports. So I went to my stuff and found a 250 GB SATA drive. I think it's in working condition because I mentioned Windows 7 SLI. I think I used it previously, so I think it works. The other change is that I managed to find SATA DVD-ROM. Okay, like this one is SATA DVD-ROM, and for Windows installation, I think it works. And these are two SATA ribbons. Like back in the day, these were like 40 pin SATA ribbons, like for the connection of the hard drive and the DVD-ROM. So coming back to our assembly process, let me assemble this really quick and we will move on with the rest of the video. Okay, let me align the holes and we will continue. Okay, I don't remember about this motherboard from where I got it, but it's a very old motherboard, and nowadays in our country you cannot find old tech. It's very hard, and you have to go through a lot of things to find a good working old systems. Line is the end. Use this for a bit. Now it's aligned. Sorry to look inconvenient. I know I talk a lot. This is who I am. I talk a lot. Let me loosen it a bit. Let me do this a bit. Okay. RAM, motherboard, and processor are installed. I made a combo. Let's install this graphics card. There is some noise in the background. Sorry about that. My family is having breakfast. They are too late. They let me find. We will get there. Like we will get there. Let me install the power connector. Okay, bought I found a power supply, old power supply. It still works. It is from I think SPI, Sparkle Power. It's a very old power supply, but it has like less pins. I know it works. Okay, let me connect. Yeah, this one is the primary ID. Primary ID here. Okay, let me focus it. And this one is the secondary ID. Okay, let's connect. Yes. Yes. Molex, the famous Molex connector. Everyone hates it. I hate it. I bought once I burned down the complete Molex power supply due to some short circuit somewhere. It was a good power supply, by the way, but whatever happened. Let me come back. There was interruption in the house, so I'm coming back. And let's continue with our assembly process. Okay. Let me have another Molex connector from the bunch. Okay, this hard drive is connected. Hard drive is okay. DVD-ROM is connected, and all the necessary stuff are connected. Let me connect the power cord. Mouse. Keyboard. I'm a VGA. VGA. Okay, we will come back. We will right back with the first boot, and we will continue from that. Okay, coming to the first boot. Let me adjust the camera angle. Power is here. Let me jumpstart this PC. The fans are moving. The fans are spinning. Yep. We have a first time boot on first time. My 2-year-old daughter is not in good mood today. I don't know, but she is not happy. I think the motherboard is stuck. Let me boot again, the second boot. Let me disconnect the USB because sometimes the USB keyboard or mouse creates a problem. Second boot. Disconnected the USB keyboard, USB mouse, and this is the second try. The hard drive is spinning. Hard drive is spinning. Yes, it booted. It has Windows 7 on it. Let me go to the BIOS first. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay. Let me close in. Okay. Look at the system specs. Okay, it's a 845. As you can see, it has a Pentium 4. I think it's 2 gigahertz Pentium 4 with a 400 megahertz bus speed. It has it has 512 KB of L2 cache or L1 cache, 512 MB of RAM. The date is quite good, but the rest of the stuff is pretty normal. Hard drive, good device. Let me go to the. Let me disable this. The hard drive is being picked up. It's saving changes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The plan is that if this Windows doesn't pick up, this Windows is very heavy, so we will install Windows XP on it. Let me find another drive if I can find one. Let me find another drive and we will install XP on that. I think the system is not picking up the Windows 7. Okay. the system is rebooting, restarting again and again. Let me disconnect and we will find a proper window. Okay, going back to the video. Okay, this was one of a difficult video to make because this motherboard and system give me a very much headache. First of all, after second boot, the system didn't put last in. You can see previously it didn't boot, and it was boot looping due to Windows 7. I have to change to Windows XP. First of all, the DVD-ROM for Windows XP was not working. It was a PATA hard drive and it was not working. Then I changed the PATA to SATA to this adapter. You can see, let me zoom in. This. Okay, this is used to convert the SATA into PATA, and I tried to install Windows XP. I tried portable DVD-ROM. This, let me zoom this as well. But the same process, it was not working well. So at the end, I used some kind of mechanism to install Windows, and this Windows XP was having a lot of issues. It was corrupting files, and after a lot of effort, it is installed successfully. Okay, the thing is, again, I'm telling you what I have done. I have installed the necessary driver, but the drivers are not picked up by the Windows, so I have to do something to install Windows driver, like this Radeon drivers. Okay, let me show you the Radeon drivers. And this setting, look at this. Let me zoom in. Okay, these are Radeon drivers of total of 128 MB Radeon drivers HB. Okay, let me show you the system. Look at this. This is a single core system, Pentium 4, and let me show you the device properties, and you can see it's a 2 gigahertz fat and MB RAM of Windows XP. Now let us play. To be frank here, let us play Far Cry. Again, I am telling you, and the crisis will not work properly, so I am going for the Far Cry. The next best thing, Far Cry. This is the first time running Far Cry on this system. Let me correct it. This is a Far Cry 1. This one is before there was Crisis. There was Far Cry. I used to play this game a lot back in 2003, 2004. And look at the FPS, memory, CPU is at 100 degrees centigrade. I know this is not showing the correct CPU because I know it is not 100%. This is not showing the 100% the CPU. I am sure because it's installed and it's working. Okay, Look at the FPS. Look at the FPS. This is 30 FPS. Options, and this is again. I'm not playing any sound, and game option. Let me control options, sound options. Right, let's go to the advanced. High texture height. Now we will go for medium texture. Environment medium, because I know this the quality is very low. Like medium, particle count, medium, everything on medium. Let's apply. Let's try again to my necessary changes. That's okay. Let's go back. Quit. Let's see how it plays now. Can't see the let me add manually to this. Because I want to know the FPS. FPS still didn't pick up. Okay, how do you feel? Let me play medium, easy. Start. Look at the loading time. Wow, it's taking a lot of time. This system was very slow. Like it's taking forever to load. Look at the graphics. Oh. The game feels okay. There is a lag. I'm really sorry, but I can't see the FPS. Let me play a little. There is something. Oh, my mouse. So, this is it. This is all I can show you. This is Far Cry and it is running fine on this system. And we will meet in another video. Take care.